Меня зовут Ioury Kossovsky. Это моя история.
The high school graduation ceremony has come to an end. A loud, cheerful crowd of ex-10th grade students poured into the schoolyard. Their future looked wonderful and the party lasted until dawn. Young, strong voices occupied green streets of Slutsk, singing cheerful and joyful songs. Totally exhausted, my friends and I slept soundly afterwards, and our dreams were good and kind. We were woken up by bombs exploding, and it was not military training. It was June 22nd, 1941. The same day at 11 a.m, I received a mobilization summons and, shortly after, arrived at the recruitment office. I was provided with a soldier's uniform, rifle, ammunition, and was sent to a platoon in the regiment located in Slutsk. At 5 p.m, we took our first battle with German parachuted troops. The paratroopers were wearing uniforms of Soviet policemen and were armed with automatic assault rifles and machine guns. The purpose of the assault was to capture a part of the city, to prepare a safe passage for the main troops. That night, we were back at the regiment with the first victory, but not everyone came back. Many raw recruits, young guys, died. They were the first of many losses in that difficult and long war. I fought through that war, from beginning to the end. Those 1,418 scary, sad and heroic days would never be erased from my memory. The military front was approaching fast. On the third day of the war, Germans captured my city, and then on June 26, the city of Minsk. In July 1941, at the T-junction of the roads leading to the cities of Mogilev and Khrushchev, the enemy troops were stopped. In those days of heavy fighting and retreat, a strong spirit was growing within us. By virtue of that spirit, we managed to delay the Nazis' advance. This changed the course of the war and eventually forced the invaders to the west. At the beginning of the war, the Soviet Army experienced a severe lack of competent and experienced commanders. High school graduates who during their study underwent a basic military training were taken from the fronts and sent to military schools. I was among them and arrived to military infantry school located in the city of Krasnoholsk. Training lasted for 15 hours a day for 5 months versus standard 2-year training course at peacetime. In December 1941, I, Lieutenant Kossovsky, ready for the battle, was sent to a division which fought in defense of Moscow. Severe frosts, villages burnt and black, the smell of gunpowder, snow. Food was freezing in thermoses, which were brought to the front. Even vodka was freezing in the flasks, and we were warming it with our own body. Even these conditions sometimes were unbearable. The Moscow battle had a strong impact on the outcome of the whole war. That first Nazi defeat built the foundation of our great victory, in the same way as Stalingrad, Kursk, and other major fights of that long war. As soon as the enemy was pushed away from the capital of our country, our division was deployed to the Leningrad front. We took part in heavy and continuous fighting in a swampy area. Our division freed Kalinin and Smolensk regions, suffering heavy losses among the troops, so the personnel were constantly turning over. In April 1942, I was injured by the explosion of a landmine. I lost my hearing and was wounded in both legs. After treatment in the Army's medical battalion, I was sent again to the military front as a platoon commander. From December 1942 until February 1943, I took part in fighting near the town of Rzhev, which had 2 lines of defence and a system of bunkers, pillboxes and hidden pillboxes. Nazi troops had great numbers of self-propelled guns, tanks and aircraft. An order from the headquarters was received to take the fortified enemy's positions. After several attacks, we suffered a heavy loss. Out of 1,000 soldiers of the regiment, only 48 soldiers and 1 officer, I, Lieutenant Ioury Kossovsky, survived. At that night, I ordered the remaining soldiers to attack the enemy's flanks. We managed to break through and destroy the pillbox and killed lots of enemy soldiers in the trenches. Only 15 of our soldiers survived that fight. In the morning, Division Commander arrived and presented me with the Order of the Red Star. In August 1943, I was seriously wounded in the head, throat and right arm and spent 7 months in various hospitals. I was declared as having a 2nd category of disability and transferred to serve in a training regiment as a military company commander. All commanders in the training regiment were, like me, wounded in battles and had great combat experience. The training lasted from 6 a.m. till 11 p.m. We had 3 months to prepare a combat battalion to be sent to the front. After the Nazis surrendered, our training regiment was preparing soldiers for a war with Japan. In 1946, the training regiment was dissolved. For my participation in the war, I received many awards, including the Order of the Red Star and the Medal for the Defense of Moscow. Settling down after the war was not easy. My father, my brothers and I all had severe injuries as a result of the war, and our house was destroyed by the enemy. Eventually things got back on track, but the war left a significant damage on our bodies and our souls. I arrived in Australia in 1992. My participation in the war is very well recognised here. I am an honourable member of the State of Victoria's Association of Second World War Veterans, and I am receiving my pension from the Department of Veterans Affairs. I experience a very special feeling when young people visit our association. It is like I am back in the ranks. We conduct lots of volunteer work in order to improve the quality of life of servicemen living in Australia. I have 2 beautiful sons, Gregory and Felix, 2 granddaughters, Alla and Anna, grandson Gregory and 3 great-grandchildren. 2 great-grandsons, Aaron, 19, and James, 16, and a great-granddaughter, Avigdale, 7. I'm happy that my great-grandson, Aaron, is now studying to become a doctor. It is the most peaceful profession in the world. My family and many other families can now enjoy the benefits of peace because our generation did the noblest thing which anyone could do for their country, facing death for the victory of life.